Capital market operators to screen clients against sanction list. Federal government unveils rice pyramid to reduce cost of the product in the market. Asia Pacific stocks fall after overnight sell-off on Wall Street. Sunny shares tumble over 12%. Plus, oil rises to 70-year high as Turkey outage adds to tight supply outlook. The program is Business Express and we are reaching you from Abuja, Nigeria's capital. I am Benny Adams, your guide. You're welcome to that time we talk business, and we'll start by telling you that Securities and Exchange Commission (SEC) in an official gazette says all capital market operators are hereby notified that in line with the requirements of Terrorism Prevention Act and Terrorism Proscription Order Motion 2021, the federal government of Nigeria has declared the activities of gunmen and similar groups in any part of Nigeria as terrorism and illegal, proscribing their existence and restraining any person or group of persons from participating in any manner whatsoever in any form in the activities of any of the groups. All capital market operators are required by this circular to screen and verify every client against the proscribed groups and file any suspicious transaction, as well as report immediately to the Nigerian Financial Intelligence Unit. The President of the Senate, Ahmad Lawan, says Nigeria cannot continue to borrow endlessly to fund its annual budget, blaming federal government ministries, departments and agencies for failing to generate enough revenue. In his opening address after resumption, Lawan noted that the oversight of implementation of the budget was a critical function of the National Assembly. The Senate President stated that the lawmakers must strategize on effective oversight of the implementation of the 2022 Appropriation Act. He reminded the House that this is going to be the last budget that would be fully implemented for 12 months in the life of the 9th Senate. He also said funding of the 2022 budget is predicated on significant borrowing and the country is caught between the devil and the deep blue sea. That construction and provision of infrastructure is needed in all parts of the country for development. U.S. officials in the aviation sector said the start of Verizon and AT&T 5G mobile phone services planned for today would cause a completely avoidable economic calamity. Airlines fear Band C 5G signals will disrupt planes' navigation systems, particularly those used in bad weather. The warning was issued in a letter sent to the U.S. aviation authorities. The chief executives of American Airlines, Delta Airlines, and United Airlines were joined by others in saying immediate intervention is needed to avoid significant operational disruption to air passengers, shippers, supply chain, and delivery of needed medical supplies, including vaccine distribution. And now, the Nigeria rice revolution has attracted a huge investment along its value chains, lifting millions of farmers out of poverty. Key players in the rice industry say unveiling of the rice pyramids by President Muhammadu Buhari shows that the country has met her target of rice sufficiency. Musa Aliu has details.
A It was a journey that started 7 years ago with President Muhammadu Buhari sowing some grains in Kebbi State. Statistics provided by the Central Bank of Nigeria showed that as at December 2021, 4,400,000 farmers were financially supported. Integrated rice milling industries increased from functional 6 in 2015 to about 200 in 2021. This has reduced the importation of processed rice from other countries, such as Thailand, to nearly zero.
By 2016, rice imports from Thailand have fallen to just only 58,000 metric tons. As at the end of 2021, they only exported 2,160 metric tons of rice to Nigeria, thereby saving Nigeria foreign exchange and helping to preserve jobs for our people.
With Thailand recording zero importation of rice into Nigeria, the country has pledged to key into the Nigeria's Rice Revolution project. This, the representative said, will include the establishment of milling industries in the country.
Thailand is cooperating seriously with the Nigerian government and any other business stakeholder of agribusiness in Nigeria. So to give them the Thai technology, the know-how of rice production.
We've been having several meetings with the National President of Rice Farmer Association on the area of technology transfer from Thailand to see how we can bring improved seed that is not in the Thailand market.
The efforts of smallholder farmers, who are the major producers of food consumed in the country, were recognized by key players, including some state governors.
That is why we, as Nigerians, have taken to heart our father, President Muhammadu Buhari's charge, that we should grow what we eat and eat what we grow.
Feeding Africa and feeding Nigeria is a key to success. Banning importation of food, we as lawmakers, we are ready to support any small farmers holders.
As the 2022 dry season commences, the Central Bank and Farmers Association agreed to scale up production as directed by the President. Musa Aliyu.
And now joining me to talk on Nigeria's rice revolution and the economic implication is commodity consultant and trade partner with Thailand, Ambassador Aderi Bigbe John Adekore. You're welcome to Business Express.
Thank you very much.
I'll get it right next time.
Yeah, don't worry.
Well, the rice revolution is here. It has come to stay. And like we heard from the central bank governor yesterday, he said imports from Thailand has dropped to near 0%. How are the Thais taking this?
Well, for the Thai government, they understand that the Nigerian government has to really take the bulls by the horn. They understand the importance why Nigerians must grow what they eat and eat what they grow. And then they also understand that in spite of no more importation from Thailand as to the finished goods, they understand we can also import technological know-how, the agronomical support to bring into Nigeria to support the Nigerian farmers on the yield per hectare for the country.
So are talks ongoing already on this technology transfer? Because we understand Thai does not have the kind of land Nigeria has got, talking about the mass land we have. And they've been able to produce this rice from not just Nigeria and Africa, but the world. Are there talks ongoing to ensure that we get to know how to do it?
Yes, there was actually a talk that the Rice Farmer Association, they opened up with the embassy of Thailand to Nigeria here in Abuja last year. Talks has been on how the Thai government can support the Nigeria in the area of rice production by introducing the same system they introduced there in Thailand, what they call the community milling system. This community milling system is what the Thai government introduced by allowing the farmers, the grassroots farmers, from source, as they farm the rice produce, the paddies, they mill it from source. before taking it out for the market to sell. Because if you really understand the mechanism of the rice value chain, you come to see that the people who decide what the masses buy the rice, the price mechanism, who decide what the price per each bag of rice sold to the masses, is not the farmer. Is usually the millers and the brokers and the people who decide price.
The middlemen.
The middlemen.
So in Thailand, you're trying to say the middlemen are actually cut out of the process. The farmers are empowered enough from the farm. They do the milling there, and then they have direct access to the market.
Yes.
Have you been to Thailand?
I've been to Thailand. This is my 7th year in Thailand. I actually have 2 companies that is based in Thailand. That is also into agro-produce and also...
So which is to say you have first-hand information about how this thing is being done, which is to say you can also, now that you are here, I think the process can actually start here.
Yeah, well, as I rightly said, that not being said, I also would like to also congratulate Mr. President for the success he has recorded in this rice story so far. The Anchor Borrowers Program, how he's been able to introduce the Anchor Borrowers Program 2015 up till now. We have so much to write about as to rice in particular to the nation. What rice stands to do for Nigeria is something that is so much, because rice is in different variety. In Nigeria, we only know parboiled rice. And then rice is not just the parboiled rice that we eat. Aside the jasmine rice and the other type of Indian rice that we eat here. In Thailand,
the Indian, the Chinese, and all of that.
In Thailand, they have like 12 varieties of rice. The premium rice so far in the world, the most expensive rice in the world, is called the berry rice. It's actually 2 varieties of rice bred together to come up with a particular rice called berry rice. It is nutritional, it's safe for whatsoever age range we have in the country. That not being said, we also have another particular variety they call the jasmine rice. Those are premium rice. And then we also have white rice. But here in Nigeria, we are used to our parboiled rice. But then we've been talking with the Thai government to, over time they've been protecting a particular seed variety from coming in outside their country.
Because of its market value.
Because of its market value.
Okay.
So with the help of the ambassador, the ambassador just left the country last year of Thailand to Nigeria, and the refund president, we made so much effort to see if we could get a particular seed variety that we could use in Nigerian soil and can give us 14 metric tons per hectare.
14 metric tons per hectare. That is huge.
That's what they get in Thailand right now.
Wow.
If you want to compare with Nigerian counterparts who also do the same rice business, they get between 3 to 5 metric tons per hectare. So the Rifan president has been trying to see how he could introduce this particular seed variety. So he's been talking to so many rice research institutes in Thailand. They've been trying to talk to the Thai government to allow free passage of this seed variety into Nigeria economy.
Okay, fine. Before we get this done, to get to produce at the level Thailand is producing, with what you've seen Rifan and other rice farmers under the Anchor Borrowers doing, the collaboration between the CBN and, like you've commended the president to have impacted to have this result that we have now. Can you tell us the likely economic value chain so far?
Well, I would want to first of all also say that several meetings being held also with Central Bank of Nigeria on encouraging grassroots farmers to get this input at a very reasonable price, because the economics of production determines what these farmers do get to sell their farm produce output. So the economic value that this stands to give to the Nigeria economy is that the youth of Nigeria who want to really get something out of the economy could sit down and sit back and then do these things as someone who are intellectually sound, who can really bring their technical know-how from studying in the university to this farm business, as farming should be seen as business venture, not as a way of life, because you put in money into it, so you must get proceed from it. So it has so much economical advantage that it stands to give to Nigeria economy. Not
would that go a long way in crashing the price? A bag now is between 23 to 26,000 in the market.
True.
So with what you are saying, where would the price figure come in?
Well, the price figure will come in the area of the government supporting the Rice Farmer Association in land preparation. You know, thank God the federal government in its wisdom has introduced an agency called NADA. So we need to, we have so much arable land in Nigeria. We need to get them prepared for the farmers to go into them and, and cultivate. We will really want to also appreciate the fact that Mr. President has so much been supporting these farmers. That's why you have a story like what you saw yesterday at the field of the pyramid.
Yeah, the pyramids.
So I would still say for the price to really go down, we need what we call the community milling system, where you have to cut so many costs. The cost of production must come to its barest minimum. If economics of production on the area of input is something that is static, there are some other things you can do away with. Example, electricity is a key thing to business people. When you farm your rice, you get its output, you drive it from a far distance to places like Lagos, Kano.
Transportation. Mechanization. How can Thai and other countries contribute in mechanization to ensure that we get this thing at the speed we are going and to improve on it?
Still being said, we also discussed with the refund president. There are some mechanization companies from Thailand who would like to have its assembling plant here in Nigeria, where they can assemble so that you can also cut the cost of clearing costs with customs and the likes of others. So, the mechanization companies are really interested in Nigeria because they now understand that there is business in the agro line in Nigeria.
Okay, that being said, the CBN also promised that with the pyramids we've seen, they are going to move these products into the market to crash the price. How is that going to work, and what's the reaction to that?
Well, as I said, I still want to make my emphasis on community milling system. Because
to make it sustainable.
It's
not just a one-off thing.
No, because when you see it is paddy that is being displayed, not milled rice.
Not the real milled rice.
Not the milled rice. If we introduce this community milling system, the farmers don't really need to pay money to mill their rice. We can get their husk from their milled rice as means of payment. That husk can be used as feed for animals. This very husk can be used as so many things, can even generate electricity. We can use it because in Thailand, they use its husk, from the milled rice, from this milling plant, to generate electricity to the country. So I still want to stand on the position that the Rice Farmer Association should be more supported by the federal government to, introduce this community milling system in each political district, whereby each farmer from his farm can get this farmed rice to the milling hub, where it could be an hub where they will create, and like
possibly like in every local government.
In every local government, we could have the community milling hub, where each farmer's household, individual.
Do you suggest that should be private sector driven, or should still be part of the intervention from the CBN?
For you to really introduce something that will be sustainable to the economy, you need the government to start it first, while the private sector will pick it up.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, in the overall, what is the impact of all of this to agri-business and to get to attract the youth to get to participate in it? There must be incentives for the youth to be attracted to this. So do you see that playing out?
Well, I myself, I happen to be also a youth. You can actually see my face. I'm not with any gray hair. I'm actually a fan of agro-business. I have been in this sector, as I said, for 7 years. You know, in and outside the country. I've been trying to see how one can educate our brothers outside the country, not to leave Nigeria and spoil its name. You know, there's so much to be done here, locally here. You know, if Nigerians youth can focus on the right direction, you know, and not be distracted, there's so much on the table that can feed every home or any graduate.
But Ambassador, we have research institutes that are into agriculture production. We have this rice and there are commodities that are coming on board. Do you think the curricula in schools now should be reviewed to understand, to match the realities that we have on ground for us to have that productivity that is desired?
I think we really need to go even up to that level you mentioned, the grassroots level at the university, tertiary institutions, where we could encourage our youth to go into farming proper. But that not being said, I would also want to see how, you know, institutions, you know, I would advise that Nigerians should have what we call the Rice Research Institute. You know, we need something like that to come on board, because like in Thailand, we have what we call the Thai Rice Bank.
Wow.
We have what we call the Thai Rice Bank. What they do there in the Thai Rice Bank is civil servants who cannot do any other business but only farming are encouraged to farm just at their house, just at their doorside. You farm whatsoever thing you want to farm. You bring your farm produce. You bring it to the bank. The bank will house it, and then they will give you a particular, maybe 1 week, 2 weeks, you come back with your coupon, and then they will give you cash. So in so doing, these farmers have access to cash. One of the problems we have in Nigeria is that our farmers in the grassroots have no access to cash. You know, some of them 500 naira is really huge. So when this kind of anchor brewers program that the, you know, Mr. President has been trying to see how we can support the farmer in the grassroots, when they get this kind of input, they really don't understand how they can see it as a business and not as a way of life. If they could see it as a loan.
It is a continuous thing that should be followed up.
Yes.
And more education and enlightenment needs to be done.
True.
Thank you so very much, Ambassador Aderi Bigbe John Ade Korede.
You've tried this time.
Oh my God, I told you. Thank you for sharing your thoughts with us at this particular time.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Well, let's take a trip to the commodities market. Asia Pacific markets fall after overnight sell-off on Wall Street. Sunny shares tumble over 12%.
Hello and welcome to the Global Market Review. Now let's start by telling you that the African continent can now have access to local cloud services across the region for the first time. This follows the opening of a data center in South Africa by Oracle, joining the likes of Microsoft and Amazon in setting up facilities in the southernmost country on the continent. Now, in the equities market, stocks traded mixed. South Africa's JSE Africa Top 40 climbed 1.05%, with Tunisia's Tunidex also rising 0.43%, while Kenya's Nairobi All Share and Namibia's overall index were both negative. In Asia, markets fell across board this Wednesday following an overnight sell-off on Wall Street. The Nikkei 225 in Japan dropped 2.8% to 27,467.23. The Shanghai Composite also declined 0.33%, while Hong Kong's Hang Seng Index topped 0.06%. European stocks were muted on Wednesday as investors monitored rising bond yields and a slew of corporate earnings. The DAX in Germany was flat in early trades. London's FTSE added 0.05% and fastest CAC 40 appreciated by 0.34%. In the US, stock futures fell in early trading following a sell-off on Wall Street, also triggered by surging bond yields. Dow futures tumbled 59 points, S&P 500 depreciated by 0.18%, and Nasdaq Composite was down 0.13%. And that's Global Market Review. It's back to you, Benny.
Well, and a quick one back home, the bulls are still taking the lead on the Nigerian equities market as midweek trading ended in positive territory. The all-share index advanced by 1.73% to 45,430.14 from 44,655.89 recorded on Tuesday. Market capitalization rose to 24.476 trillion naira, 252.9 million shares exchanged hands in 4,218 deals, valued at 8.925 billion naira. Transnational Corporation of Nigeria, Guarantee Trust Bank and Jais Bank led in terms of volume traded stocks. Well, Business Express returns tomorrow.